All right, so today we're going to be working with some Scratch. If you don't know already, Scratch is this really cool website where you can learn and practice how to code. So if you haven't already, go to the Scratch website and log into your account. And then I'm already logged in here, so click onto your account name and then go to My Stuff. And then it's going to look something like this. You're going to have different projects than me probably, that's okay. Click on My Studios on the left-hand side, and then find your studio called Cyber Spartan Projects. Click on that, and then find the project called Social Distancing. This is the project that we're going to be working on today. So what this project is, it's actually a really cool game where the player has to collect as many masks as possible and then donate those masks into deposit boxes. However, right now the game's not working properly, but that's the goal for us today. We're gonna fix the game, and don't worry, we're gonna do it together, and it's gonna be super fun and super easy. But before we get started, I just wanted to show you the game and how it's not working, so you can know what you're fixing before we start fixing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press the green flag, and then I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I want you to be able to see the intro yourself when you get to play the game later. So I'm gonna fast forward starting now. All right, so it looks like our game is started. And as you can see, the player can move up, left, down, right. However, if you look at the top of the screens, the masks are just appearing there, right? So when I try to go collect one, it's just, I can't, like it's just stuck there. And then same thing, the donation boxes are just stuck there. Oh no, I lost the heart. But also the donation boxes are stuck there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the game, and then so our goal is to fix those mask sprites and then fix the deposit boxes. So what you're gonna do is click on See Inside of the project. And then, so basically the main thing that you're gonna be learning about today is cloning. So what is happening right now is when the mask sprites are being cloned, they're not doing anything. And that's the way cloning works in Scratch. When a sprite is cloned in Scratch, it just appears on the location of the sprite that was cloned, and then it doesn't do anything. And it won't do anything unless you code it to do something, which we're gonna do today. We need to clone those masks. We need to code those clones of the mask to do something. So go ahead and navigate to the bottom right-hand screen where all your sprites are showing up, and looks like this. And then we're gonna be working with the mask sprite first, since that's the one that's not working. So go ahead and click on the mask sprite, and then just scroll a little bit down until you see when I start as a clone. It looks something like this. This is going to be our chunk one. Chunk one is the code that we're going to be starting with. So what this is doing is that when the mask sprite is cloned, it goes to the top of the screen and it just shows up there, and it doesn't do anything else. And the reason for this is because there's a forever loop, and there's nothing inside the forever loop. And the way the forever loop works is whatever is inside there, it just keeps happening and happening forever and ever. But there's nothing in there, so there's nothing happening. So what we want to do is we want to add 3 chunks of code into that forever loop. So the first chunk of code we're going to be adding is the one right below it, and it starts with if touching player question mark then. Go ahead and click that chunk of code and drag it into the forever loop, just like that. Super easy, right? So what this is doing is that when the clones of the mask sprite touch the player, then the player is able to collect them, and it's going to say +1 mask on big letters in the screen, and it's going to deposit the mask into the player's inventory. All right, perfect. So the next chunk of code we're going to add is if touching edge question mark then. Just click that chunk like we did on the other one and just drag it right underneath that last chunk of code. And so what this is doing is that when the clone goes down the screen and it gets to the end of the screen, it disappears, because we don't want all the clones to just collect at the bottom of the screen. We want them to fall off the screen, right? And don't worry, there's gonna be more clones appearing at the top of the screen when they fall off the screen too. All right, so the last chunk of code that we have to add is just this one little line. It's easy. The change y by -3. Go ahead and click that, and right underneath the if, the last chunk of code we put. Perfect, it looks like our whole chunk of code is together. And so with this last line that we added, it actually moves the mask down the screen. That's what this change y by -3 is doing. It's moving the mask sprites down the screen so the player can collect them. All right, so it looks like our masks are working, but there's one more problem. Do you remember it? The deposit boxes aren't working too. But don't worry, it's almost exactly the same thing. It's super easy. So we're almost done. So just go to your sprite section again on the bottom right screen, and then this time click on the deposit box sprite. And then again, just scroll down until you find when I start the clone. And see, this is our chunk 1. And then we again have to add those 3 chunks of code into this forever loop. 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and pause if you think you know how to do it. If you don't worry, keep on playing and I'm gonna help you out, okay? So again, we have an empty forever loop here and we need to add those 3 chunks of code. So go ahead and click the if touching player question mark then, and drag it into the forever loop. And then click the next one, if touching edge question mark then, drag it right underneath the last one we put. And then finally, I think you know what to put, right? The change y by -1. This also moves the deposit box down the screen. And now our code is all done. Everything's together. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and press that green flag and play the game for yourself and have some fun, okay? So stay safe and stay healthy and see you next time, okay? Bye.